Welcome to the future, y'all. So you found your way back to the Complex Entertainment Group, covering music, technology, business, and life. Apple has unveiled the Vision Pro. In my opinion, this thing looks dope. So if you go to Apple's page and you just type in, or you go to the Vision Pro section, this is how it starts out. Let's scroll down a bit. I want to take a closer look at the actual headset. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's a better picture of the device. You see the enclosure. There's multiple cameras and sensors on this thing from what I've heard. Let's see, audio strap. Better look at it from a side profile. The headband, displays, light seal, the crown, so you can do different adjustments on the thing. From what I've heard, you can span it out so that whatever you're seeing covers the whole space of your room. So you're pretty much like immersing yourself in a different environment just from using the thing. Top power or top button, not sure what that's gonna do, and then the power cable. All right, so let's take it back to this view. So fact, Apple has been preparing for this device for a while, and they've put seemingly a lot of work into it. Back in March, we heard announcements about Apple Music being able to support spatial audio just from their site. So what does spatial audio do? Spatial audio with dynamic head tracking brings theater-like sound from the movie or video you're watching. So that means we'll be able to consume content on this Vision Pro and have an experience almost as for like we're in our home. So if the character or whatever is happening on the video or movie is in front of us, the sound should sound like, it's in front of us. If the character in the movie, someone's sneaking up from behind them, we should hear as if someone's walking up or creeping up from behind us. Like, this is gonna be a different way of consuming content, in my opinion, and I think it's gonna be great. So there's also been a lot of talk about switching over to Dolby Atmos, and how Atmos is going to change the standard of consuming music. I mean, think about it. If you have more consumers consuming content and media with a spatial audio format, you're not just going to the movies where it's Dolby surround sound and you have 10 speakers all around you to make sure that the sound is coming from all angles of the room. You put on a device and it's pretty much simulating the same thing. I mean, we've already seen that there's sensors all over this thing. So that means those sensors aren't just consuming or they're not just sensing the light in the room. The sensors are also designed to help with the audio. How I understand it is that those sensors are also helping to do room calibration, so that when you put this on, it's calibrating the room so that whatever you're listening to is adjusting for the environment that you're sitting in, to make sure that, again, if something's coming from behind you, it sounds like it's from behind, and so forth, spatially around the place. So I asked myself, is there a benefit to musicians and content creators really switching over or adopting or utilizing this Vision Pro device? Number one, with this whole conversation about Atmos, what's the price for switching over to an Atmos rig, right? Just number one, if you were to go out and buy today an Avid Matrix Studio interface, that thing costs like $5,000 just for the interface by itself. That's not including all the speakers you have to get, all the extra cables and wires to connect the speakers and everything else. Like, is $5,000 just for the interface. Now, I'm not saying that it can, because I haven't had my hands on this thing yet or really determined what are some of the use cases or the applications that this thing can be used. But if the Vision Pro can be utilized to at least check a mix, as opposed to having to go out and buy an Atmos rig, I think I would do it. I mean, I would try this out, and plus I get to enjoy all this other stuff on it. So I'm trying to be careful here. I'm not saying that this is an Atmos rig at all. I'm just exploring or questioning what are the use cases of this thing. Could this be, you know, a cheaper way for me to check a mix in a spatial audio environment? I don't know, but we'll have to just wait and see. And then I also started thinking, people start recording YouTube videos on this. That's gonna be a completely different experience, right? Like if I'm doing YouTube tutorials on, I don't know, if I'm doing cooking videos, or if I'm, you know, doing piano lessons, the person that's then going to consume that is really looking at it through the eyes of the person making it. Or think about how this would change concerts, right? I'm pretty sure I heard on one of the YouTube channels, they were able to pretty much watch an Alicia Keys concert. It was like they were right there in the room with her. And then the spatial audio field gives it this sense that you're in an actual concert hall or stage or whatever else, because it's giving you the perception that you're actually there. So yeah, I really see this all kind of coming together now. It makes sense. There's like a vision for the future, and it's already kind of begun. It really is determined by how well a Vision Pro or devices like it in its competition succeed. Another thing to mention with this, they're saying with your MacBook, you can look at the screen and pretty much project your screen anywhere and then change the environment. Like you can be sitting here making music on the moon with this thing, just because it's now giving you a spatial environment that you're someplace else, still looking at your Mac screen. Like just think about the vibe you can get off of this. Like there's a lot going on with this. There's a lot to be said, or that can potentially be done. But that's just my thoughts on this thing. Like I'm really interested in this device. I hope it succeeds. And I think there's a lot of ways it can propel us into a new experience in the future. But share your thoughts and comments below. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And welcome to the future, y'all. Peace.